Dane, not the finish you'd have wanted. Obviously, the lights go out with the win. In the end, the margin was very big. It was one of those chases that's just got away, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think losing those wickets in the power play was difficult. It was always going to be a difficult chase after that. But yeah, I mean, the guys never gave up and tried the whole way through. Obviously disappointing to lose by such a big margin, especially after some good cricket we played in the last couple of games leading into this game.
Yeah, that was where I was probably going to go with it, was that overall, we discussed it a lot in commentary, it's felt like a different Middlesex side in the T20 campaign this year. You've come in fresh for it though, and obviously come in quite late in the day. How have you found it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. Well, it's been really good to see that some of the way we're playing and some of the results haven't gone our way. Unfortunately, there's been one or two things that we just need to tweak along here and there. But we're competing, and we want to try and compete and get up to a level where we need to be to make sure that we get over the line in these type of games. So I think the games that we've played over the last week or so, last 10 days, there's been some really, really good stuff, really tight games. And then, like you said, just unfortunately this one tonight. Would have been nice to go out on a high and win against a good side, but unfortunately just couldn't get there.
And you've thrown some youngsters in as well tonight, with Feldman getting his debut. That's obviously been a key part of the last week or so.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to blow some youngsters and get them in, and to see what they're about, which has been incredible. Change things up a little bit with the batting order and seeing guys in different positions, which is where we want to be. We want to be challenging them to challenge themselves and do well, and try and spice things up a little bit. But it's nice to see that we've got some fresh talent and lots of depth in the side. If we can just hopefully polish that a little bit, and then we get some good results.
I think Middlesex set a target over the last couple of years of win one more game than last year. That hasn't quite been the case, but the difference in the performance levels, for me watching from the sidelines, have been very different. There's been numerous games, numerous occasions. Is that how you're seeing it coming in? Because you're looking at a side, fresh eyes. Is it tweaking now at this stage and getting the balance right? Possibly with one, maybe two more signings for next year in the Blast, just to maybe kick on again.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just about getting up to the level of getting our intensity right in some areas. Fine tuning things along the way. We've got, like I said, we've got a good squad. We've got lots of promising things coming through, so if we can just get that right along the way and just add a couple of percentage points here either way, with both bat, ball, and even in the field, with just the little things that we can just tweak those, I think it'll be really good. So there's lots to work on, and there's a lot of work ahead. Don't get me wrong, I think we need to do that, and I think the players need to understand that, and we all want to get to a standing because we want to be playing some good cricket, which undoubtedly this team and this squad can play.
It certainly felt a lot closer looking on the sidelines this year, but going out with the display tonight, where you'd have felt in it at the halfway stage, probably slightly over on this particular ground in terms of averages over the years. But as you say, it was a slow start with the bat, and then it was a scramble to try and get back in it there. But over the years, Middlesex have probably in T20s limped out a little bit back into the Championship. Is it important not to let this defeat and this game bleed over perhaps into the Championship? Because it has been noted over the years that has perhaps been a contributing factor.
Well, hopefully we can change that. We definitely want to. We know we've got two big games coming up before starting one-day comp, so we really want to make sure that we focus on that. We had a really good game against Leicester the last time we played four-day cricket, so we're going to take some confidence from that and everything that we did there. We want to take it to these two games, so we want to make sure that we keep playing well. I said, going back to this game a little bit as well, I think we did really well coming out of that power play when they were batting, to claw it back to get a chaseable total. So that was really encouraging, and that's sort of the story of the season so far for us. Where we've done well in parts, but just haven't got quite over the line.
And that was another of the youngsters. We can almost forget how young he is, especially as a leg spinner, Luke Holman, who I thought, really bowled very well in that particular passage, didn't he?
Absolutely. I think we're challenging the guys to step up in certain situations and identify key moments in the game, and that was definitely a key moment, and he stepped up. So that was incredible that he managed to bring us back into the fight and did that along with a couple of other bowlers. I think also credit to young Jamie as well, who also went for a few in his first over, but the way he came back in his last three overs was really good and incredible. So for such a guy who's at such a young age, for him to step up and do that was also fantastic, and that's what we want to see. We want to just keep getting better, keep fine-tuning those one or two overs, those one or two moments in the game, and then move on from there.
Thanks for those reflections. Appreciate the time tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.